Hello everybody, welcome back to the Big Cat Sanctuary. We are live again here. Sorry for the noise behind us. We showed you last week, but again, we're going on great guns with building our new Jaguar enclosure, which is going to be ready very, very soon, we hope, if the weather lasts out for us. We're again with the lovely Dan today.
Hello everyone.
Dan, and we're going to meet, who are we going to meet today, Dan?
So we're meeting Barami, who has just started to walk over to us over here, so hopefully he will come and join us.
Barami, one of our African cheetah boys, and of course, father to the lovely Willow, who we've seen on these lives before.
Yes, very famous Willow there. Yeah, so hopefully he will come over to us. We have a little bit of food for him. Barami.
Let's see if he does. We're going to tempt him over. There you go, usually does it, a little bit of chicken. So for today, Dan, we've got a bit of chicken for Barami. This is slightly different to his main meal. So what are we doing with the chicken today?
Yeah, it's 100% not his complete meal. It's just a little top-up meal for him, just so we can get a nice little look at him, get him nice and close for everybody. Barami.
Here he is.
Good boy.
The lovely Barami. Good boy.
So every time he takes the first one, he tends to pick at it a little bit, takes his time with it, and then after that he seems to really just scoff them down nice and fast.
So for the guys at home, Dan, maybe just a little bit about Barami as a cat, as a character. And we know he's a cheetah, but a little bit about his history here and who he is and what sort of cat is he?
Yeah, of course. So Barami is a 10-year-old cheetah. He was actually born at Borås Zoo in Sweden before coming to Paradise Wildlife Park, which is our sister site. He arrived with his two brothers, Martin and Keen, and he arrived there at the age of 2 years old, and then at the age of 4 years old he came down to us here at the Big Cat Sanctuary, and he has also been a breeding cat. So we obviously know the lovely Willow. So he moved to Wingham Wildlife Park for about 6 months at the age of 7 years old to be that breeding individual.
Fabulous. So bit of history, bit of breeding history with him as well. So part of the Endangered Species Breeding Programme,
yes,
which is one of our 4 pillars of ethos here at the Big Cat Sanctuary. So a little bit about his character, Ben. What sort of cat is he? You know, how does he act? And what's his likes and dislikes?
He's quite a confident cat, I must admit. He always does like to come over and does enjoy chicken, as you are seeing, having a really good, nice go at that bit there. He also does interact quite a lot with his brothers Martin and Keen at the fence line, but he is in his own enclosure here, and that's because he's also quite a dominant cheetah. So we can see from this lovely, it's known as a mantle, this like Mohican that he's got. Essentially what this mantle is it shows that he's a dominant cheetah. So himself and Martin, who's in the other enclosure, are both quite dominant boys, and so unfortunately we could not have them in the same enclosure. But they do talk at the fence line quite a lot, but they are both very happy to have their own space and their own territory.
Great, yeah. So I mean, we talk about lions being a social cat, being one of the only social big cats. But so cheetah boys out in the wild, they wouldn't mix together?
They definitely would, and it's only brothers that do stick together. Female cheetahs are completely solitary animals, but brothers will stick together and they can form what's known as a coalition. And so, for example, the largest coalition ever recorded was, I believe, 5 cheetahs, 2 pairs of brothers and an unrelated male. So you have to weigh up the positives and benefits of this coalition. Obviously you can catch more food, but then you have to share the food as well. But they do hunt together and work together very well in the wild.
And something slightly different about cheetahs to most other cats, which maybe you can explain about when they hunt then.
Yes, so they hunt during the day. They are known as a diurnal hunter. So Barami here has some pretty amazing kind of black teardrop marks on his eyes, and what that means is that he hunts during the day. Most animals are crepuscular animals, so they hunt during dawn and dusk, but Barami here does have those black sunglasses, essentially because unfortunately a lot of slightly bigger animals such as lions and leopards are more active during the early hours of the morning and the later evenings, so to avoid confrontation, cheetahs hunt during the day.
So not the main predator in their environment. They're around lots of other cats and other animals. What sort of other animals are they living and competing against?
So lions and leopards are probably the largest, but you also have to consider troops of baboons, vultures, hyenas, wild hunting dogs, a huge variety of predator animals that are going to be out in Africa and will be competing with the cheetah. So hunting during the day puts them at a slight advantage to that aspect.
And And I hear they sometimes get their food stolen away from them. They're that timid.
Exactly, yeah. So in terms of a flight or fight animal, cheetahs, as everyone knows, are the world's fastest land mammal. And so they are very good at running. But what that means is they don't have much muscles on them to defend a kill. And so if a slightly larger animal is going to come and try and take a kill off a cheetah, it's going to run away. Because if, for example, if they were to have a fight or break a leg, that is going to unfortunately be the end for a cheetah in the wild.
And that is one of the most questions we get asked the most about cheetahs when we come here. Everyone sort of seems to know they're the fastest land animal. But the speed they can get up to, and also maybe tell the guys at home that don't know, that's not constant, is it?
No. So a cheetah can hit 70 miles an hour. I believe the fastest ever recorded was about 74, 75. Normally they hunt between 50 and 60 miles an hour. One particular study of about 400 cheetah hunts discovered that out, but that's extremely fast. I wish I could run 50 miles an hour. So they can go exceptionally fast, but they can only hold this speed for about 15 to 20 seconds.
Built for speed and agility, which is one of the reasons why Barami here is a mascot for the DS Cheetah team and sits proudly upon a formulary racing car that goes around the circuit winning races and winning championships. So what are the other adaptations of a cheetah that it has for speed and agility, Dan?
Oh, they've got loads of really amazing adaptations. So they have quite a small skull to help with weight loss when they're going that fast. Also an enlarged heart, enlarged lungs, and also for an animal that spends the entirety of their life on the ground, they have quite a long tail. And they're going to be using this tail as like a bit of a rudder. So when they are running extremely fast, their tail helps with wind displacement as they are going at those top speeds, because obviously their prey is able to jump side to side quite quickly. So a cheetah can rotate its tail and then change direction really quickly.
Amazing. What are the
Hear that crunch?
Crunching through the bone there. Dan, you mentioned the mantle that Barami has on his back there. Now, is there something special about what cheetahs have with that mantle when they're a bit younger?
Yeah, so a cheetah's mantle stretches the whole length of their body when they're younger. So Barami, because he's a dominant cheetah, he has retained that top part of the mantle, but a little cheetah cub will have a mantle that runs the whole way down the length from the back of their neck all the way down to the base of their tail, and that's helpful for blending in with the long grass.
Thank you to everyone who's joined us today. We're with Barami. He's just having his top-up feed with Dan. If you're enjoying the content, leave a comment, maybe give us a share. Send us some stars to show us your support as well. So Dan, Barami is 10 years old.
Yes.
Is that old for a cheetah?
It's very old for a cheetah, so he's a bit of an older gentleman, but he's doing really well, bless him. So in the wild, cheetahs are going to be doing exceptionally well, living past the age of 7. And so Barami, being 10 years old, is doing very well. Unfortunately, because they get picked on by pretty much everything out in the wild, the genetics of a cheetah mean that they do not live as long as other animals and cats out in Africa.
So in the wild, what would you say are their biggest threats?
So kind of the animals we've listed off already, so the lions and the leopards especially, but then baboons, vultures, hunting dogs, a huge variety of predator animals that are going to try and take a kill off a cheetah, unfortunately.
And outside of their natural threats, Dan, what's the status of this cat in the wild, and why are we thinking that they're becoming more threatened?
Unfortunately, this is actually Africa's most endangered cat, and so there's less than 7,000 cheetahs in the wild at the moment, and one of their main threats, as well as all the predators out there, is actually the pet trade. And so we support the Cheetah Conservation Fund, and they suggest that about 400 cheetahs a year are actually taken out to be a part of the pet trade. And they're doing some amazing work with a safe house in Somaliland to look after these beautiful animals.
It's amazing.
Had enough chicken for today.
Barami's having a little wander off. Looks like he's had enough chicken. Maybe it was just at the thought of being involved in that, he gets a bit miffed about pet trade. He wants to stop it in the same way that we do. So, and that's great. When you're supporting us, ladies and gentlemen, you also help support our conservation partners in the field. So if you're becoming a member, if you're donating, if you're giving us Facebook stars even, then actually you're helping us combat the threats that cheetahs, or the wild cousins of Barami and all his brothers and his daughter, are facing out there in the wild. So thanks very much for getting involved. Becoming a member as well also gives you a chance to come up. We have put some small scale events on. As you know, we've had to postpone our open days, but we have been able to move around with the restrictions and with the guidance that we've got to be able to put on some amazing members days in September. So they're small, they haven't got the razzmatazz of the open days of all the rides and everything going on, but they are a chance for our members to come and see the wonderful cats like Barami and talk to keepers like Dan, who are looking after them every day and have expert knowledge about these cats and the conservation threats and what we're doing to combat those in the wild. So join up, become a member, and that will give you exclusive access to those membership days when we will have our very own Giles Clark here as well to join us. But it looks like Barami has wandered off to do his own thing, which these cats are allowed to do. So we're going to wander off as well, I think. Dan, thanks so much for all your information today. Thank you to Harry for filming behind the camera as well.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Okay, thanks everybody. We'll join us back here again when we'll go live another time at the Big Cat Sanctuary. Take care. Bye-bye.